Hello everyone and welcome to your collective tarot guidance for the week of February the 6th till 12th, 2023. We are still freshly after this full moon in the sign of Leo which squared Uranus. So yes, my prayers do go out to all the families affected by this earthquake. And to be honest with you, the risk of earthquakes and seismic activities and the Uranian factor, but especially Earth movement, especially that, will persist all throughout the week. So, yeah. Maybe we are not out of the woods just yet, but unfortunately, that is one of the way Uranus is likely to play it out in the sign of Taurus, and Uranus will remain there until 2026, so, yeah. Anyway, the full moon also brought a lot of totally different kind of surprises, some even quite delightful, because Venus did sextile Uranus, and still does. So, maybe let's focus on the positive surprises of life. So let's see what guidance the cards can offer us. Four of Cups. Seven of Swords. Seven of Wands and Three of Swords. Oh my goodness. This isn't really good, is it? Oh, sorry. Well, it seems like Uranus is also affecting my shuffling skills. So here we have the Seven of Cups, 777. The Sun, reversed. Eight of Pentacles, reversed. The Empress. So, what these cards might suggest for this week? Well, it's really multifaceted, to be totally honest with you, because this is where this Four of Cups might represent that we are actually in quite deep thought, quite deep contemplation. This is where the higher philosophical aspects in life meet the practical. And, everyone individually is right now, as I said, in this contemplation, trying to come up with some very deep answers. Answers which are quite needed for the practical things in life. Choices, decisions. When we get to the distilled state that our preference is no longer dictated by logic, because logic will direct us to, well, the right choice is what we feel, what we love, what our truth is, what our preference is. Then we do have to ask our heart what it wants. So, this Seven of Swords, Seven of Wands, and Three of Swords, and Seven of Cups depicts this inner philosophical journey that all of us are on right now of sorting out basically our deepest emotions. The Seven of Swords. This is where our friends and our social connections, and basically, when I say friends, don't really think about the soul friendships and stuff like that. Think about like people in our lives. Right now, because of the situation, the astrological situation, everyone might want a piece of us, so there's a lot of communication. There is a lot of people sharing their truth, their feelings, their fears, their struggles, their visions, their illusions. So basically, that makes your own that much more distractive. So there is a strong element of mental distraction. But then there comes the Seven of Wands with the Three of Swords. We're in all this contemplation and overload and our own everyday struggles. There is us having to do things by facing our fear, by being brave, by perhaps not panicking when in other times, in other situations, in other circumstances, perhaps our past selves would have been in deep panic, yet we find ourselves in a different kind of fear, where the fear is just a suspense, where a thriller, where we know that there is no escaping facing our fear, and the Sun reversed and Eight of Pentacles reversed. Our works in life, the greater works, being on hold a little bit until we come up with the answer, the Sun, and reversed, what makes us happy, what makes us spark, what makes us wanna spew out, personal light into the world. And I use spew out because sometimes the act of creation is chaotic, it is random, it is Uranian, Venus was born from Uranus. Let's not forget, love is Uranian. And comes the Empress, because in all of this, there we find our true worth. There we find our true value. What our heart longs for, calls for, actually starts to appear on the horizon. So amongst all this inner struggle, inner journey, and when I say inner journey, this is where it's a week. Let's not forget that. It is a week. And in that week, perhaps we do something, we live something, we experience something that usually is felt in a span of like 7 months, for example, the sevens. So this is deep, this is intense, and as I said, this is both us and our other people, because that is how our reality is basically composed. It is us, and then it is ours, because we are interconnected. And Mercury, Seven of Swords, being an Aquarius, that's not an option. And many times the Seven of Swords is like a thief, an energy thief. And sometimes the act of stealing, Mercury being the god of thieves, and the guiding planet of thieves, the protector of thieves, sometimes being in a communion and collective, connected, being part of something, means that we have to share, like it or not, like in a symbiotic relationship. And sometimes what is taken, sucked away from us, as in the act of sharing, equality, is much more than we have to give. And understand this more like energy, like time, like passion, like creational energy. So there is where we need to put up barriers and the fear that comes with it. Will we lose other people? Will we lose support? Will we lose friends? Will we lose connections if we put up certain barriers? Would we choose ourselves sometimes? Because the Sun reverse says also that sometimes in life you have no choice but to choose the self. And the Eight of Pentacles reversed. Works won't continue until the self is chosen, because any work requires a worker. And miserable worker means miserable work. Or, if not, then the work is such a sacrifice for the worker that burnout is guaranteed. Burnout is a certainty. So the Empress. Empress is very, very important because something in life does arise and show us the worth that we need. And the King of Swords, we must accept when sudden changes come in values, faith, living situations, living conditions, love, everything that we thought was our normality, our deeply rooted, faith ultimately, and it changes. Let the change be that, let's say, the divine is more loving and generous to you than you could have ever expected. Let this be the case. But now I would like to ask specifically what the fear or the heartache or the struggle might represent. Of course, collectively in the world, we see immediately what the Three of Swords could represent. The terror, the fear, the sheer horror of the earthquake victims, and so much more other stuff going on. But within that fear, within that hopelessness, the sacred heartbreak after all, there is still, the Empress, compassion and mercy and love. Okay. I get it now, I think. Okay. So, what is the Three of Swords? Well, this is the Star. So, a hope, the future, the energy of the future. Queen of Swords. That something which you expected, thought out, was said to you, was anticipated, as in some 4 years ago, let's say, 4 months ago, for something ago. It came to your awareness, regardless of how, through what, that things are likely to play out this way, like a self-fulfilling prophecy. But the Queen of Swords is the real of that. The real. The concrete. As in, this happened, really. The Four of Swords reversed. Things are really stirring in your life. There is a certain anxiety within you because you feel the stirring. You feel that the stagnation that was more on and off is now really a thing of the past. It is a kind of restlessness, Eight of Swords, reversed because the blindfold is coming up. You start seeing things, and at the end of the day, as I said, this future that until now was more a thought, in the Eight of Swords, it's a thought because you don't see it coming. You don't see it. You're trapped. No, it's just a thought. It's just in your head. Now it's here, for real. A part of that is here. And something starts, perhaps this week, at least in thought, but for some, and the Chariot reversed. The seeking, the journey, part of it really is complete now. Seven of Pentacles. Something starts growing. You arrived somewhere, riding the karmic waves, ultimately, because the Chariot is a big card, a major arcana. So that's not just a transition, that's not just a physical journey, for example. That is a big move, so to speak, a big quest, a big seeking journey in spirit. Of course, how it manifests physically, mentally, emotionally, in any way, that doesn't even matter at all. What matters is that you've been in on this journey and suddenly, maybe unexpectedly, you're somewhere, you are somewhere. And time to Seven of Pentacles. Start exploring. Start seeing what you can use. Something has grown, but what is it? And this is kind of a suspense, a fear, a shock even, as in, is the journey or part of the journey truly complete? And is this what I have? And that is a shock, because it might be a disappointment, but it also might be a total enigma. That what do you do with this High Priest? Yeah. Very strong Taurian energy here. Something starts getting real. And the High Priestess, exactly. The prophecy. Where it began, you're back there and it's complete. Why this week, I'm not sure, but this is what the cards might say. So, thank you everyone for listening. And again, let's all send our wishes of healing and recuperation to the victims hit by the earthquake. And thank you for all the love, all the support, all the kindness. And until next time, bye for now.